What's going on? Back again. This is the Blerd Dad podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Lawrence, and I am super happy to be coming to you again. What's been going on in my life? Not much. I know one thing. I am going to get. I wish I had sound effects for this. I should have sound effects for this. I am going to get a haircut, people. A lot of you may be wondering, when's he going to do something with his hair? And I said at the very beginning of the pandemic, I'm not doing anything with my hair until I feel like we're out of it. And I feel like we're out of it. I feel like we've come out of it a little bit. People are starting to get vaccinated. Things are opening up. And even the anti-vaxxers are pretending that they got vaxxed so they don't have to wear a mask. So I think things are on the up and up. It's everything's looking good. Things are starting to open. Things are starting to get normal again. There's road rage again. I'm trying to figure out creative ways to call out of work again. Just all the good stuff, all the things that come along with everything opening up are happening. The kid on the way, Stephanie, looking as beautiful as ever. That's what you say to your pregnant wife. You say she's looking beautiful as ever, which is true. She's looking great. I'm giving plenty of foot rubs, foot massages, all that good stuff to make sure that she's comfortable bringing this little one into the world. And it's a happy time right now. Things are great, man. I can't really complain. Things are dope. So the more things change, the more they stay the same. One thing that has not changed is our sponsor. Our sponsor is still They Made Me Wear It. You should check out They Made Me Wear It. They're dog stylists for the everyday paw rent. It's a husband and wife team, and they're on a mission to help the dogs discover their fashionable side, whether it's an awesome Halloween costume, adorable dress, comfy jammies, or custom designer gowns. Your fur baby will love wearing the latest fashions. Also, when shopping their store, you're contributing to Hope for Paws. That's the first time I said that right ever. So big ups for that. And it's an animal rescue organization, and they work tirelessly to rescue and save the lives of abandoned animals. So I don't know what you're waiting for. You might as well go ahead and visit theymademewearit.com and use the code word Blerd at checkout for 15% off the entire store. Wait, no, I think off your order is what it meant to say. See, sometimes I have to fix the copy because they say the entire store. You can't just order the entire store and then get a 15% discount. Or maybe you can. I don't know. I'll have to check with them. Anyways, go visit them. You'll find out. They'll let you know whether that is the case or not. Now, today I have a super awesome episode. I'm super excited to talk to one of my good friends in comedy. His name is Chris Allen. He's a stand-up comedian and writer. He's got a conversational yet laid-back style. It's coupled with this quick wit. Keeps audiences on their toes. He's hilarious. You got to go check him out at a show. He's performed all over, including Rogue Island Comedy Festival, DC Underground Comedy Festival, plenty of others. He's appeared on Laughs on Fox. He's open for all these different comedians: Mark Norman, Hannibal Buress, Roy Wood Jr., one of my personal favorites. Love that guy. Maybe I'll angle for be like, yo, can you introduce me to Roy Wood? No, I'm going to keep it to Chris's thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to try to jump in and clout chase. I'm not going to try to ride the coattails like some of my other friends out there who don't listen to this podcast. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, he hosts a weekly podcast called Negro Please Radio. I think that might be old because I think now he has another podcast called Do You Believe with his sister. So he's got multiple podcasts out there. He's doing a lot. I keep, talking and singing his praises or whatever. Why don't we just bring him in here? Please welcome to the stage my good buddy in comedy, Chris Allen. Chris Allen, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, what's up, man? Hey, where is this live at?
Well, it's live everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's streaming.
I can't find the link. I can't find the link to share it on my page.
Oh, damn! It's on Glenn Lawrence Comedy on Facebook. It's on the Level Up. So you ain't following me on Level Up Comedy. That's what you got to do. You got to follow me.
I am not for a reason.
You know what I'm saying? You need to follow me on Level Up Comedy. We're doing big things over here. You know what I'm saying? I got sponsors, Chris. Does Negro Jump Radio have a sponsor yet?
No, I you know what? I put minimal effort into everything that I do. I really do, man, and it's not good. Hey, I'm live talking. I'm live with a buddy.
Look, see, this is how we do it here, man. It's right. You're learning how to podcast by listening to the Blerd Dad podcast. We are teaching. We're all about teaching. We're about uplifting the community and teaching all these dads out here. But first of all, thank you for hollering at us, coming through and checking us out. How you been?
Good, man. You want to meet Roy?
Yeah.
Man, dude, Roy Wood Jr. is one of the coolest dudes you could ever meet, man. He's one of the most down-to-earth guys you could ever meet. The thing about Roy, he treats every comic. You could literally be 2 months in, a couple of sets under your belt, and he treats you like you're a 15-year vet. He treats everybody the same, man. He's one of the coolest, most down-to-earth people I've met in my entire career, and everyone will tell you that, man. Roy he's legit, man.
Dude, I believe it. But the cool thing, I feel like certain people like gravitate towards other people who have like the same mindset. Because I've noticed that about you in comedy too. You've done a lot, and you're super humble, dope comedian, but also very humble, and super very humble. Nice. That's a weird way to say it. But you also like you treat every comedian that you ever come into, you treat them real nice. Even me, what I'm saying?
Bully. I'm a bully in DC.
Nah, you just big and black, so people are naturally scared of you.
People call me a bully all the time, man. I like, is this a clean podcast? What do you do? Is this clean?
I you know what? I have been trying to decide whether it should be clean or not, because it is Blerd Dad. So I feel like dads might listen to it. They might listen to it with their kids. And I'm trying to figure out, because I'm a cursor. So I don't know what, like,
well, you know what? Let's not curse then. If you don't want to,
I want to curse. There's never a time that I don't want to curse.
If you really want to grow this, if this is a clean black comedy podcast, this could do very well. Okay. But then again, you are hosting it, so it probably won't do well.
Damn, you're just gonna let my shit fail.
I see you cussed already. See, there you go.
Okay, see, you're right.
I was showing you the bully side. I'm not nice. I tell people I'm not a nice guy.
Yeah. All right, well, you helped me out right there. So I'm gonna try right now, because I've been into this thing now called like discipline. Right, it's a discipline that I'm trying to do with myself. I'm trying to work out more, because I kind of let myself go during the pandemic and whatnot. And I've been looking at myself and be like, man, shut up.
If he asked me, he actually looked better. I'm kidding.
But I'm trying to be more disciplined in the things that I do. So that's one of the things that I want to do, because when I first started comedy, I was very disciplined. Even though I like cursing, I did a lot of clean sets, and it helped me grow, helped me get booked or whatever. And then after a certain while, it's just like, man, I ain't, like, when the pandemic happened, I'm like, man, nothing matters anymore. And I kind of went back to myself, and I stopped having that discipline. So I'm trying to get back. So thank you for bringing that back around and being like, yo, like, get yourself together.
No, man, I'm just kidding, man. This is a great. I need to holler at you about graphics and getting the little video up to start the show. I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
Oh, see, look, man, we over here consulting. As a matter of fact, I consulted with a podcast. It's called the Wartime Allies Podcast, and they're talking about so there's all these interpreters over in Afghanistan or whatever, and they got promised like visas and stuff, and they're supposed to be coming back here, and then like they're getting jerked around. So you know what I'm saying? Like, if they don't come back over here, they're gonna get killed. You know what I'm saying? So I help consult on that podcast to help get that off the ground. So they just started. They're in like their second, third episode or whatever right now. But yeah, consulting services, holler at us, man. You got the good background. I just got my living room. You know what I mean?
Man, that's a green screen, man. That's it.
It looked like you're on the streets of New York. You know what I'm saying?
That's how Dumbo. You don't want to see what's going on.
No, don't pull down the facade. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's it.
Look, now you're just a regular Negro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we can do it all kind of ways. Comedy's going great. You know what I'm saying? Comedy's going great, man.
You're like halfway there. You're like you said, you don't put a lot of effort into it, but you already have all the makings. It really doesn't take as much effort as you think to get there. You know what I'm saying? To get where you want.
I'll tell you this: if you with that mindset, you will not make it. It takes a shit ton, my man.
Well, maybe. Well, shit. It feels like it don't take much for me, but maybe I'll be doing a lot, and then people be like, "Oh, like you're doing a lot," and I'll feel like I'm not doing nothing. I feel like I'm being lazy, and they'll be like, "No, you."
I feel the same way. Like I don't think I'm doing anything. I look at people who have been doing it, a few years less than I am, and I'm like, compared to them, I don't have anything. I got a podcast that no one knows about. I'm not headlining. But I know people like look at guys like Jay and Sam J, Norman. I mean, I've been doing it just as long, if not longer than them. But they also live in New York and all this type of shit. And
Yeah.
live in LA.
They also
But
have like they're really funny, so that's going for them too. You know what I mean? So that
see, that bums me. God damn, you don't even know how to deliver that right.
wait, that wasn't good. That wasn't
No, you
okay.
gotta. It's like see, you needed because it was too quick.
It was okay. I had to
You
slow
needed
it
to be like,
down.
see, here's the thing, Chris. It's like you needed to build it up, and you needed to be like, the thing is, do the build up and be like, and they're funny. You was like, but they're funny. It was you didn't put enough
So
emphasis
it
on it.
kind of sounded like an asshole comment as opposed
Yeah,
to
it
like
wasn't.
a
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
there.
Any more consulting news you want to tell us, or what? Any other
Nah,
weird?
man. Look, the reason why I had you out here is because along with being a great comedian,
Stop it,
super
man.
funny, and then nice and caring dude. As much as he says he's a bully, he feels like a big brother to me. You're
You the
also
same age. Don't say that shit to me.
I know, right? But I mean, it just feels like you're older. Your hair is longer, your beard connects more than mine does. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot going for you. But you're also an amazing dad too. You got an amazing son, and I see that, and I look up to that, and I'm just like, damn, that's really what I want to be able to do, is to be able to have this career, you know what I'm saying, transition from that, then transition into comedy, and then also keep my family together, keep my kid growing. Every time you post an update of him, I'm like, yo, the little dude is like, I'm like, man, if I had that little dude, I'd be over the moon. You know what I mean? He's great. He looks super respectful. He's super smart. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to rap with you. You know what I mean? Help me out as I'm embarking on this journey of fatherhood.
Well, first of all, I gotta say I appreciate all that, man. But it's not a one person job. I gotta say, man, it's I most of the credit has to go to my wife, and I'm not just saying that just because people feel like you're supposed to. Uh, I really mean that. She does a lot of work, man. You know,
Mm,
um, just based on how I am, I guess we don't need to really get into that now. We can in a little while, but she does a lot of the heavy lifting, man.
no,
I
I
gotta
mean,
be.
we can. You know, Mike Brown, he was on here, and his immediate thing was he did the whole episode just praising his wife the whole time. I'm like, oh, that's a smart man. That's a married man. He's a veteran of being married.
But I do, and it's because of how my brain works.
Hmm.
I'm a procrastinator. I'm afraid of diagnoses. I don't like bad news. Not that anyone does, but
Mm.
I'm an avoider type of person. You know,
Oh, okay.
I really am. And when he was very young, we felt like he was different. And to be honest, in the back of my mind, I was just like, I think he might be autistic.
Mm.
It was scary. Not as scary now, but when you're a new parent, it's just one of the scariest things you can hear, because you already feel like you don't know what you're doing, and then to add something like autism on top of that, it makes it super scary, because
Mm.
then you're like, to what level? But we went through that whole thing, testing and all that. Turns out he's not, but he has I don't want to say severe or anything like that, but he has ADHD, and I will say it's pretty
Mm.
prevalent. He has ADHD combined, which means like he can be very he can have a lot of energy, and they have a tendency to not be able to focus, but they also have this hyper focus thing,
Yeah.
and that's what people really see on the internet, is the hyper focus. So simple things like teaching them how to tie his shoes and learning to go to bed, that was a little bit harder. you know uh
Uh,
Trying to communicate with him verbally was just a little bit harder, just because of how his brain works. um like, dude, like eating dinner, if it's not monitored, we're talking, if he just has rice, some chicken, an apple, and broccoli, just a normal kid size plate, you're talking 2 hours to eat.
oh wow.
Like a piece of broccoli, he'll get up, run around, jump on the couch, go get the iPad, do some other stuff, and then come back, eat a bite of a nugget. you know so it's just like it's like that. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of redirecting. It's a lot of it's a lot of like having to walk behind him to make sure he can get all the tasks done. Like if you give him three things to do, he's gonna do maybe two, maybe two.
Mm.
So I know people like, oh, he's so cute, he's so smart, he's so, and it's just like I appreciate that, but there's a lot of work that goes behind it. It's
Right.
just not like I have this genius kid, and he likes to go to bed on time. He does. He's very finicky about a lot of things, man. So what I've learned over the last year is him and I are very, very similar, and I have to be very patient with my son, very
Mhm.
patient with him because he's a lot like me. He shuts down quickly. He's very particular about things, and sometimes the wrong things can really set him off down an emotional spiral where it's hard to get him out,
Yeah.
crying, stuff like that. So you want to talk about it, and I'm gonna give you the details because one
No,
thing.
I'm 100% like
Okay,
all on board with talking about it as much as you want to talk about,
yeah,
because it's your son, and you
but
share
yeah, just
as much as you want. But
yeah,
because that's one of the things that I would have thought about or worried about. And it's like, okay, if you have a special needs kid, how exactly do you care for him? Because you're already like, I already would be kind of against the wall trying to just have a kid just live out their life if they didn't
right,
have any special
right,
needs. You know what I
exactly,
mean? And now they have special needs, and it's like I don't even know how to deal with that. And I feel like I grew up. I didn't grow up. I didn't go to the military, but I was in a military household, so it's like it's still kind of strict because the dad
right,
usually is bringing back that discipline, or the mom is bringing back that discipline from basically their work. So I had kind of a lot of that going on. So I'm like, and plus I play sports. So I've been coached before. So I'm used to like tough, you know what I'm saying? Like tough
right.
love and whatnot.
Mhm.
My wife, she has not done those type of things. So she's a little bit more along those lines of like not being so much like about the tough stuff, to talk it out. So I don't know where the kid's going to fall. You know what I mean? Um,
It's yeah.
but I got it. My question though,
Okay, I'm
like,
sorry.
did you learn a lot about yourself, and did that help you like deal with your kid? Because it sounds like you kind of have
Dude,
like some of the same traits, but now you're older, you know how to deal with them.
well, I don't really. I'm in the process of really learning. I've learned the most about myself, and I would say this last year, but in the last 3 years. But the pandemic, man, I've learned a lot about me,
Mm,
and the more I know about me, makes me better with him,
mm,
because me and him are so much alike. But the thing is, the way our quirks and the things that we get caught up in, they manifest differently just because we're 40 years apart. You know what I mean?
right.
So like with him, he loves Bob's Burgers. He loves whatever shows he likes, he's gonna watch that shit to the nth degree.
Right.
I
Like
mean,
he's
like
gonna binge watch it.
he binge, yeah, like there's days where he'll watch the same Bob's Burgers episode over and over and over. I'm talking all day. And now and there's points where I'm like, dude, we can't watch this anymore. We've watched it 8 times today. And I have to, like I said, I have to be very patient with my son because I do the exact same thing. Like
Right.
I'm not lying, dude. The other day, actually for the last few days, I've listened to one song for the last 3 or 4 days.
Mm,
I've been listening to Hustle and Motivate by Nipsey Hussle every day, all day.
mm.
So
That's
I
my walk.
can't.
That's my walk up song when
Oh,
I
is
go on
it?
stage. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't get mad at him because here's the thing, because my wife and I'm starting to think too, I have ADHD as well. And the thing is, he's not really watching that episode, just like I'm not really listening to that song.
Hmm.
It's just something about that beat that it allows me to think clearly. It's like a weird bass line in the background of my brain.
Right.
And almost every day I need something different in the background running to be able to kind of function. Like, dude, he's 8 years old and he can multitask like it's unreal. And I used to try to stop it because as a parent, you want to be like, you need to focus on this one thing.
Right.
But for people with ADHD, you function better when you have a lot of stuff going on in the background for some reason. It
Yeah.
allows you to focus. So like he'll be doing his work on his Chromebook. He'll have his iPad up playing something. He'll have his Nintendo Switch on the other knee. It's paused. and he'll have something up on the TV. He'll be watching Bob's Burgers. He'll be watching something on YouTube, and he'll have the Nintendo Switch, and he will be on his Chromebook doing his work. And I'm like, you know what? I used to tell him not to do it, but until it starts to really affect his grades and stuff, I'm gonna let it go, because if that's how he can operate, I'm going to let him learn how to do that to the best of his ability. Because if he can master it at a young age, just imagine when he's 25, when he's 30, how many things he'll be able to do. And the world is changing. I'll say this and I'll hand it back over to you. Because when I first came in the military, I didn't have my own computer at my office. Then I got my own computer. Then I went to a job where I had 2 different screens. Then I worked a job where I had like 9 screens going. And then my last job, I had access to the regular internet, the secret internet, and the high side internet. And then the job
I didn't even know there was 3 internets, nigga.
Yeah, it's 3 different networks.
Damn.
So low side is like what we on now. This is the unsecured low side. Then you have Sipper, which is the super.
You ain't got to go into all that. I don't want to get you.
And then you got the high side. But I worked on the high side. And the job I had, dude, I'm not lying. I would have 30 to 40 tabs open at a time because I needed to grab data to update this database. And even though it was a boring job, I think I did okay at it because I had a lot going on. And my brain, I kind of thrive in a chaotic situation.
I'm not gonna lie. So I feel like I don't want to sound like this was me too things, but I feel like I think it is like this. I think it is because whenever I have a lot going on, I feel like I get a lot more done. Like I focus on the thing and then the other thing. And you know what I'm saying? Like my focus is split, but I'm hyper focused on doing the one thing when I'm on it. Then I'm hyper focused on the other when I'm doing it. Whereas like if I have a lot of time and I don't have a lot of things to do, I'll just fucking wait. Nothing will get done. And I feel so many times like I'm not getting anything done. But then when I have like a ton of, like when I first started comedy, I was learning how to do comedy, but I was also working. And then I was becoming a yoga instructor. I was learning yoga. So you have to do like 200 hours or something. So I was doing all that too. But during that time, I felt like I was the most efficient. Like I was also, in addition to that, I was working out, get my body together. And then like during the quarantine, it's like, I don't have any of that to do. And I feel like nothing got done. I just got fatter. It just kind of, you know what I mean? Like, like chilled out. But I feel like I need that stimulus. And I feel like you seeing that in him and realizing that about yourself probably.
Well, and that's why I have to give my wife credit, because she's the one that realized it. Like I'm trying to think like structure scares me. It really does. But in a way, man, like it also saved me, because like for a person with a brain like mine, like the military is the last thing you would really want to do. Because it's so many rules, like the PT stuff. Like that's why I struggle with that so much with the PT, man. It's because like it was just so many rules, man. I didn't realize like my brain shuts down. My brain hates that, man.
Right.
It gives me anxiety and all type of shit. Like that's why my style of comedy is the way that it is. Like it's dude, it's so hard for me to stick to my act. Like I feel handcuffed. Like if you tell me I can't deviate, I shut down.
Yeah. But I mean, I wonder if also, do you feel, because I feel this way, like you're at your best when you deviate, like, and sometimes if you have a joke and it's like you said it before, it's like personally I feel like if I have a joke and it's worked, I like, all right, I don't want to do that again. Like now I got to find that thing, you know what I'm saying, where I do something new that's going to open it up and make people laugh again.
Yeah. But I needed that structure, man, because at a young age, I don't think I would like college didn't appeal to me. I knew that about myself. I knew if I went to college, I would get nothing done. So in a weird way, I put myself in a situation where I could not deviate, because if I did, because a lot of people with ADHD, they burn through jobs. They get fired a lot.
Yeah.
Because they just can't focus.
We won't talk about that in this episode.
Yeah, but like the fear of getting kicked out of the military, the fear of all this, that kept me in line for a lot for basically my entire life.
Mm,
And I realized that, man, I've spent most of my life living under fear
mm.
and consequences.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's one way to motivate. It's funny listening to your story because it's like divergent paths. Like when I got out of high school or whatever. First of all, I was kind of like just a knucklehead, not doing anything, and then my mom was going to send me to the military. Like she had she had like a recruiter come to my door and like basically take me away to do the thing, and then I was hesitating to sign the papers, and she's like, what the hell are you hesitating for? She's like throwing a pencil in my hand. It's like, and then the recruiter's like, ma'am, you can't force them to sign the papers. You can't
Oh,
make them.
really?
Yeah. And so, but then I went and I visited a college and I was like, I want to do this. So it's like almost taking the opposite path of what you took. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because
Yeah.
my brain, I feel, works the same way. But then I was like, all right, I'm going to go to college. And luckily, I think that worry of like, oh, I would have to go to the military and kind of deal what you're talking about, which is like a lot of structure, and I didn't want to do that. That drove me to focus in college. You know what I mean?
See, but you use yours. It's someone not reverse psychology, but the fact that you were like the military thing you didn't want to do, that was your like, I'm not doing that. So let me
Yeah, you
focus
focus
on this
on
here.
yeah.
Here's the thing about me, man. Very impulsive, very impulsive. I had never even thought about joining the military at all.
Mm,
It just hit me one day, man. I was working at Wegmans. I saw this person's badge. It said, Mike serving you for like 26 years. I was like, man, I am not working at this fucking grocery store for 27 years. And I literally went down to the recruiters. I was like, I'm not joining the Army. That shit's whack. I'm not joining the Marines. My uncle told me to never join the Marines. Air Force is cool. They have better jobs. Dude, my recruiter, because people were like, did the recruiter do this, that, and the third? I was like, he didn't say anything because I was just like, I want to go. He
mm,
didn't tell me, dude. My recruiter kept his mouth closed. He was like, this guy wants to go. I'm not saying shit.
mm.
And I signed up, and when did I
So
sign up? I signed up before I was out of high school, but in December I was gone. So I signed up, I would say maybe around June, and I was gone in December.
yeah, my recruiter said he basically was promising too much. So I was like, this also feels like a trap. He's like, you like music? Oh, we got tons of music in the Navy. You like, because I was about to go to the Navy. That was
Oh,
the
basketball? You can play
basketball.
basketball all day in the Air
You
Force.
like boxing? Oh man, we got a great. I was like, oh, you selling this way too hard. Let me look into my options. But no, that's I mean, I think it's dope that you found yourself though in that, and how that's helped you become, a better father, and like kind of guide your kid. How does he view you? Do you notice how he views you, or do you have an idea of like what he thinks of Pops?
You know what? I don't know, man. We have a weird relationship already, man. Nah, man. He doesn't show me too much, but like whenever I'm not there, my wife is always like, he's always asking about you. But when it's me and him, he act like I ain't even around, man. But we sit on the couch, man. He sits up underneath me. He wants to show me stuff. Now we have a good relationship, man. It's
I
just
would
sometimes
imagine.
no, we do. It's just again, we're very much alike. And this is, I'm gonna be fully honest. I grew up a very kind of defensive person, and I would always assume people were attacking me.
Mm,
So it caused a lot of issues in just relationships. I was always anticipating what someone was gonna say, whether it was good or bad. I just never let people finish their sentences, and it just frustrated people. And he does that, and we do that to each other, you know.
mm,
Like he'll get up and I go, hey man, you need to. He go, I know I'm not going to do this. I was going to use the bathroom. I go, oh my bad, man. I thought you were going to get up and run around. You need to eat dinner. And then I
right.
go, hey Miles. He'll go, I know it's time to go take a bath. I go, actually, I was going to ask you if you wanted some fruit snacks. And he'll go, oh yeah, I wanted some. I go, see, man. I was like, we need to stop anticipating what we think each other is going to say because
Yeah.
it frustrates each of us. And he
Yeah.
goes, you're right. So him and I already at a very early age, we have to be very aware how we speak to each other, you know,
Mhm.
because we're so much alike. We do
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, here's what I've been wondering is
if that
like,
makes any sense.
no, it makes 100%
Okay.
sense, and I think that that's where you get into problems with a lot of people. I know, I know, I'm very much like my dad, and it just annoys me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'll see him do something, I'll be like, oh, that's the type of thing that I do, and I get it. I know exactly why I do that, but I don't know. I feel like I've been wondering to myself, like, I wonder what traits of mine he's going to get and what traits of his mother he's going to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he comes
Yeah,
out, he's going
it's
to have certain
interesting.
shit from me, certain shit from her, and being able to figure out, like, oh, that's from me. That's the craziness that I do.
Yeah, man, it's fun watching them become a little person, because when they're infants, they look like people, but they don't really do a lot of people things. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? They don't no, they don't really have a personality in it, all that kind of stuff. It's very odd. It's just a little thing that looks like a human being. It's very cute. You love it. But again, no real personality yet. So when you really start to see that come out, man, it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
Man, I've I don't know. I don't know. I just can't. It right now I'm at a loss because it's like 5 weeks away. Like, this is imminent. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, right?
you at
Yeah,
any moment. Yeah, any moment
yeah.
now.
So now it's like literally any moment. And at this time it's kind of like but it's still not real yet. But it's still very real. You know what I mean? Like, if you look around the apartment, like, he has way more stuff than I have here.
Yeah, dude, it's I know exactly what you mean, because it's like, for a fact that there's a baby in there that it's gonna, that it's gonna look like you guys. But until you see them, it's hard to believe, man.
Hmm.
It's honestly, it's really hard to put into words. It's just like, there's a person in there. You can't wait to meet them. You're just like, what are they gonna look like, man? Like right now, like you said, it's 5 weeks away, right? Right, 5 weeks,
Yeah, yeah.
dude. You're gonna think about this conversation and you go, man, I can't believe that they weren't here. Like, it's hard to even imagine your
Yeah.
life, what it was like before they came. Like, dude, just thinking about this is gonna be like, man, I can't believe he wasn't here. Like, what was I doing?
What was I? Where did all
It's
my time go?
Yeah, man. Because it's like, as soon as they get here, it's just like, I don't know. It's so hard to explain. It's just like, you don't forget about your old life, but you're just like, man, it seems like another time.
Hmm.
It seems like another time. We go, man, before him, man, like, what was I doing? Like, it's just weird. Like, I would just get up and just go to the store. It's just like,
I-
I lived all those days and didn't even think about them. It's
right.
just like, man, like, the name Miles never even crossed my mind. Like, it's very weird,
And
man.
now it's a name that is like dear to your
And
heart.
you
And
think about it
yeah,
every moment of your life. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just weird to go from, like, to never think about this person or have a name or a face or anything to put to it, to where, like, it becomes your main focus and concern.
Hmm. See,
Yeah.
that's a that's a gem. That's the thing that I'm gonna have to that I'm gonna focus on. Um, I don't know. I think that's part of the reason why I did this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, talk to people about it, get prepared for it, and almost like use all that nervous energy that I have waiting for this baby to be here. Use that nervous energy to do something productive, and maybe other people will watch it and then be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm feeling that way too." This is,
Yeah, it's a special time, man. It really doesn't feel real. I mean, even when, watching her belly grow, you like I said, I just said it. It's like, they're in there, but it's not real. At least for the men, until you hold the baby. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And you see them and you go, damn, this is, dude. I'm telling you, man. The first time you hold your baby, you're gonna go, holy shit, I made another human being.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you catch your baby? Did you get your
No,
or you weren't in
no.
the room?
I was there, but she was in labor for 20 hours, and then we ended up having to have a C-section, because he was like, kind of, like, say this is I hate to be so crude, but say this is
That's
the
true. You
the
throw up the
opening,
rock.
the
You throw up the
opening.
rock. Just for all the people who are listening,
Yeah,
he's throwing up the rock as if it's a vagina.
yeah. He was like this, instead of like this, he was like this.
He was
And they
peeking.
couldn't get him to like shift over at all.
Oh, he was being shy even when he was
Yeah,
coming
he was
out.
trying to look out. Yeah, he was doing like the little trying to be coy.
It's like,
So then she had to have a C-section, which was like this was crazy because like the entire time, like the moment she told me, she was like, I don't want to have a long because she would meet these women when they would go, oh, I had a long labor, then I had to have a C-section. And she was like, I don't want to have that. I don't want to have that. And
yeah,
she kept saying it over and over again. Like, dude, like the whole 9 months. I was like, stop thinking like that. And it ended up happening. And I'm not
yeah,
gonna say like, see, I was just like, but you put that out there, and your biggest fears came to
right.
pass. It's just like, don't think about it.
Yeah.
But
We were actually just talking about that today, me and Stephanie, about like intentional and how much your mind can actually affect your body and whatnot.
yeah, just
And
stay positive, man.
and I've been trying to keep her in such a positive like mind state and happy, and just I just feel like making sure that she's okay, making sure that she's all taken care of. I feel like that'll help the baby grow, because during the time that they're in the womb, I read this in a book when I was trying to get myself together, that in the womb, the baby is taking on a lot of the emotional state of the mom. So if you notice, like sometimes if moms are in, they're in like kind of a depressive mood, sometimes the baby, or like, yeah, when the baby comes out, and then they start growing up, they have like this deep, like kind of depressive like thing that they don't know where they got it from. But it's because even if the mom is a happy person, during the time of the pregnancy, she
Right.
was a certain way or whatever, or regretful of having or whatever. And I mean, I think it makes sense,
That shit
because I
sounds
know that.
sexist, actually.
Would you say that? What?
It sounds kind of oddly sexist in a way.
No, but
Like it's
it's
your
not.
fault, women. That's what it kind of sounds like. I don't know.
I
I
mean,
know
a
too,
little
but
bit. Y'all should
I know
cheer
what you
up
mean.
if you want these
If you
babies to be all right. No.
if you take it that way, but I understand it's just like, hey, positive hormone, positive
Yeah,
vibes. You want to be in a good mood, Yeah, that
but
makes sense.
well, also if you think about it too, like um, depending on whether you intended to have the baby or not, because my mom wanted to have me. It was like very intentional
Yeah,
that she wanted to
yeah,
have me. So
babies
yeah,
can tell. People, I mean,
yeah,
you can tell. People know when they're not
whether they
wanted,
wanted
or
it or not.
they might have been conceived under some odd circumstances.
Yeah,
This stuff I won't speak. Yeah, it's not my really place to speak on. But they have done studies about that kind of stuff.
yeah,
The nature versus nurture and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, man. Because
I mean, like I said, I was going through like a depressive time in my life, and I read a lot about that in terms of trying to get my mind right. And then it talked about the connection, the links in that. And it's not just the one thing, but there's a lot of it. And my thought is, if I can keep her in a happy state of mind, cared for, not that I didn't care for her before, because I did, but it's just like being really intentional about making sure that that's the way that she is. I feel like hopefully that will transfer over, and then the baby, when it comes out, all it's known is like those type of feelings, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so he comes out happier. And I don't know what other people do, but I just know there's a lot of people who walk around in the world with a lot of angst, and I know that
No,
sometimes
dude,
people,
I will. Yeah,
yeah.
I feel guilty, man, because I feel like a lot of reason why my son is so anxious and nervous is because of me.
Mm,
Dude, I was a emotional wreck, during her pregnancy. My anxiety was just through the roof, man.
mm. Were you
And
crying? Was there a lot of crying? Did you cry a lot?
no, no, it wasn't. I cried when I saw him the first time,
Did you
but
really?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh shit.
yeah, man.
I don't know, man. I know that I'm an emotional person. I cry at movies and shit. But usually, like a lot of human things, I don't get as
No,
emotional with. You know what I'm saying?
no, I'm
Like a lot
emotional
of,
too, man. I'll
yeah.
cry.
Yeah. You cry at movies, or just in general?
I can. I think I have. And I think Antoine Fisher, I cried. I was in the military. I was a young dude,
That's
and there
like
was
15 years ago.
yeah, man, I'm old. I think it was Antoine Fisher when they
This is the
like,
last.
hmm?
No, I was just saying, like that's an old movie. Like I cried, like we were watching like um like the Mitchells, the Mitchells versus the World on Netflix. It's like a new movie that came out like 3 weeks ago. That was the last time I cried.
Oh, you cried during that? Yeah, we tried to watch that.
I start like, now when people say like, oh, I watch a commercial and I started crying, like I get it now. Now I'm like, oh
It's a bunch of
yeah,
stuff. You're going through a lot of stuff, man. Your life is about to change, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just like you got a lot going on,
Mm.
but like, and you just got to really be careful how you talk to your kids too. Cause I know for a long time, I would, every time I would walk by my house, you okay? You okay? You need anything? You all right? You okay? When you do that, they start to think like, is everything okay? Like, am I all right? Should I be worried? Shit like that, man.
Have I been kidnapped? Why is he always asking for like I'm gonna tell him or something? Like
Yeah.
what's
So
going on?
it's just, I have to be, I have to watch myself from doing that as well. Like
Gabriella said,
the
pop in
Notebook.
the notebook. That'll get him crying. But yeah, man, the words and be so the thing is, as someone who has gone through like yoga instructing and learning about mindfulness and whatnot, I'm very mindful a lot of times about mind state. You know what I mean? Like I'm mindful about the mind state that other people are in. So like if someone is doing something or someone is acting a certain way, I try to be mindful about what maybe their mind state is to figure out why they're acting that way. It helps me deal with other people, but I also have to look at myself so that I don't do like those things. Because I notice now Stephanie's pregnant. I'm constantly being like, "You all right? You feeling okay? Is everything all right? You need a foot rub? You want me to bring you a sandwich?" You
gotta be
at a
careful
certain
rubbing
point.
feet, man. Rubbing feet
Yeah.
can induce labor. You know that?
Oh, did it? Can it?
Yeah. Yes, it can.
Oh, really?
There's certain pressure points on a woman that they say don't touch these spots because it can induce labor. So yeah, you gotta be careful massaging pregnant women's feet.
Okay.
You know what?
Well,
Pregnant people, because anybody can be
pregnant people.
pregnant these days. I don't want to get in
Yeah,
trouble.
apparently, yeah. But I only massage her feet. I don't go around massaging other pregnant women's feet. I'm just
saying. But yeah, yeah, dude. So yeah, man. Oh, sorry, were you gonna ask me something? Did you want me to talk about being a zaddy some more?
Nah, man. No, you're giving like a lot of great insight. My sister, not to be confused with Gabriella, Gabrielle, my sister, she was saying that she's learning a lot. There's a lot of great insight. I mean, you just have a lot of good information, and I see how it is, how you are, you know what I mean, when we're out in public, and then I see how you are, the things that you post when you're walking around with your kid, and I could just get the feeling that you want to do right, you want to do the right thing.
But yeah, social media can make marriages and relationships between people and families look perfect, and that's one thing I really never want to put on this facade like I have this perfect marriage or this perfect family, because we're not. My marriage struggled the last few years, man. I was an emotional and mental wreck, man, and my wife stood by me. And she got Miles help, like just from being in the military and dealing with like a bureaucracy and offices and like government, facilities. I am so jaded by all of that. Like all the stuff that Miles needed to get done. I know I probably would have procrastinated with that kind of stuff because I wouldn't want to deal with these government agencies. But my wife that's in her wheelhouse.
Right.
Going to get him tested, making sure we're going to see these doctors for him. I know I would have been delayed in that because I would have been afraid of hearing some bad news. But my wife is like, hey, if we're going to hear something bad, let's hear it early and get on it. So that's the yin and the yang between my wife and I. And I'm so thankful to have her around. If it wasn't for her, dude, I probably wouldn't have went to therapy. And her dealing with him and learning a lot about the ADHD, it made her realize like, oh, this is why Chris was so hesitant or against, talking about certain things or doing certain things. Like this is a little off topic, but it kind of pertains. I was so against my wife and I having a calendar together and like scheduling things. I felt like that was like, I felt like that's not what a marriage is. We gotta schedule shit. I gotta put my shows in the calendar like we business partners. I was so against it, man. I fought it, but things were getting messed up. She would plan something and I would have a gig at the last minute and she would have to cancel. And I was really being selfish. I didn't know, but having a calendar scared me for some reason.
It's like that. It's like it makes it finite. You know what I mean? Like, now I've definitely got to do this thing, and like, I can't get out of it and do my own. Yeah, man, I get that.
So I was so against it, and there were some other things in our marriage where she was like, why? She would go, what is wrong with him? Like, I can't reason with him. She said there were many a times she was like, I don't know what to do. Like, can I continue on with this? And
Yeah.
then, doing this research about ADHD, she goes, oh, this is why Chris was hesitant about the calendar. This is why he was hesitant to talk about this. This is why he could never, get this thing done on time because of
Mm.
his executive function of his brain. And like
Okay.
when she told me about that, dude, it opened up so much to me. And I tell her, hey, if I'm doing that belligerent no thing where I'm just shutting down, tell me, hey, you're doing the thing. And now she'll go, Chris, you're doing the thing. And I go, you know what? You're right. Let's do it. Boom.
And then
Problem solved, man.
it helped help you switch from that mind state or whatever.
To
Sometimes
know,
that's all it takes is just a little bit of mindfulness and communication, and then next thing you know, like the relationship is on a totally different trajectory. You know what I'm saying? Like one minute
yeah,
y'all fighting tooth and nail, and then the next minute it's like, hey, you're doing it, and then all of a sudden you like kind of snap out of it, and you're able to
yep.
focus a little bit more. Or
It's yeah, my brain, dude. Sometimes my mind just shuts down, and I go, nope, and I don't want to hear any type of logical explanations. It's just I have it set in my mind. But there's times where she goes, Chris, you're doing the thing, and I go, okay, I'm doing it. I know I said no. Yes, let's do it. Or you know what, you're right. And then we follow through whatever she wanted to do, or I do whatever was asked of me, and I go, you know what? You were right. It wasn't that bad. I got through it. I'm fine. And
mm.
that's why I gotta have to give her so much credit, man. Because I
Shout out
mean,
to the mom, shout out to the wives, dude.
she put up
Do
with
you,
a lot, man.
do you meditate at all?
No, I have not meditated.
Oh,
I do
okay.
not meditate.
See, that's the one thing
I do
in
other
my
eight.
life. Would you say?
I said I do the other eight. Masturbate. I do.
Nah, that's the other thing in my life that I feel like has helped because when you do the meditation and you sit down, you don't necessarily like block out everything or whatever, but what it does is it allows you in those moments that you're
Mhm.
having like a spiral or whatever, or you're stuck on something. It allows you to focus on it and then to actually kind of like break it down and realize how your thoughts are separate from you, and being able to distinguish the two and then make better decisions or change course in what you're doing. It gives you a lot more control over yourself the more you do it, especially because you're witnessing your thoughts happen, and thus that means your thoughts aren't you, and you can differentiate between when you're having thoughts that you can use to affect, or if there's something that you just need to let go, and
Right.
that doesn't even
Yeah.
bother
It took
you
me a
know.
minute to understand it. Like you aren't your thoughts. I was like, and I talked to my buddy Joe List about it because he's really into all this type of shit. And we talked about it, he made it make a lot of sense. I was just like, I got it now. Cause I would hear people say that, or I've heard the saying, and I was like, I think I get that, but it doesn't make
Mm,
sense. Yeah, I
mm.
heard you say it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I posted that stuff because I feel like in this world, a lot of people don't realize that, and they'll be run by their thoughts. But you don't have an eye. You don't understand. Your thoughts are tools. They're tools that you use to get through the day. You know what I mean? They're not necessarily like you. You know what I mean? Like there is a you that's in there, and you can use those thoughts to get ahead and to do whatever
Right.
in your thought. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah,
So
man.
maybe we could meditate together. Maybe that's what can come out of this.
Hey, maybe. See, my initial reaction is nope. Nope.
Not at
Yeah.
all. So check it out here at the Blerd Dad. You know how they have burning questions. We have a blurting question. So it's kind of based on some of your nerdy type interests that I thought it might be good for you. So the blurred question that we have for you today is: if your son was the first to meet aliens, what would he say to them?
Oof, man. He First of all, he would be terrified. He would probably ask them if they were aliens and if they were from what galaxy they were from, honestly.
Oh, really? Like he would get in
Mhm.
depth and like, okay, I want to know your story.
Yeah, he would want to know where you from.
Yo, so the first day he beats an alien, he's going to set check. He's going to what's it called? Set trip on him.
Yeah,
Like,
he
where
would
you
ask him
from, cuz? Where you,
how you, yeah, he would probably let's see.
you
If he
from
saw
Alpha Centauri, cuz?
yeah. He would ask him how he would probably ask him how long it took them to get here.
Oh, damn. See,
Yeah.
that's that you know your son well if you know that's the type of thing that he would ask, like he would ask like a math question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Because you know what? He's like the idea of something taking time, it eats him up, man. He
oh
doesn't
yeah.
like yeah. Like if he like today, I was like, we should probably go to the store and get some stuff. He'll go, how long do you think that's gonna take? Like 20 minutes. He goes, for 20 minutes. Like to him, that is forever. The idea of 20 minutes, it's just like, nope. Or like we did this thing before with him when he was a little bit younger. They go, give him like a timer when he eats. I would go, hey buddy, the timer is on. You got 20 minutes to eat, and he would just go, look, what's gonna happen if I don't do it? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? He wants to know what's gonna happen. So it was causing more anxiety because for some people with ADHD, that's kind of like a challenge. But when you start to
Yeah.
give him like that time limit, he's more worried about the consequences than actually like getting the task done in that amount of
That's
time.
and then as a dad, you're just like, all right, calm down. Nothing's gonna happen. He's like, nah, there's rules to this.
Yeah,
Like,
but yeah, and the thing is, I'm the same way too. But mine just manifests in a different way.
yeah.
It's a different thing.
I
It,
mean,
it,
that's
it
go ahead.
no,
What were
go
you about
ahead.
to say? No, I was just gonna say that's great that he thinks like that because as I've gotten older, I realized there's one commodity in this world that's more precious than anything, and that's time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now I've been a lot because before I used to, I'll be late to things or whatever, and the more I thought about it, I'm like, man, you're wasting somebody else's time. You know what I'm saying? If you're like late or whatever, you're not doing things. So I try to be a little bit more mindful of like time, and I realized that time is the only thing that we have. Like I probably have, I mean, I'm 40 now. I probably have less life to live than I've lived. You know what I'm saying? Like once
Yeah, I
you're
don't even
40,
like thinking about that, but it's so true, man.
it is, and it's like so downtime is precious. You know what I mean? Like I can't be
Yeah, man.
wasting time. Plus, I'm 40, you're 40. It's like, yo, this comedy thing got to pop. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we got
It's
to
like
limit it
that
about us.
40. Yeah. All I know is like I'm in the third quarter. I just don't know where. You know what I mean?
Right.
It could be at the beginning of the third. It could be 30 seconds left in the third. I have
Right.
I have no clue. But I
Yeah.
know at 40, 41, I'm definitely in the third quarter of my life.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at, and that has also made me more intentional about things. It's made me like really really focus, and I think having this kid will probably make me focus even more so. You know what I mean? Because it's like I got less life and I got a kid, so it's like I got a lot to get done.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
Dude, your kid is going to graduate from high school in 2040. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah, that's wild. If we even have high schools by then, because
Yeah, 24. It's little stuff like that. When he's 6, you're gonna be 46. It's just like it's like your life starts to move a little bit faster because you're not focused on you. Because
right.
he's 8. My son he'll be 9 soon.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm in my early 40s, and I remember like, man, I got a kid, and you start counting their days in their years, and then like, oh, my son's 8, and then people, how old are you? You like 30, like, oh shit, wait a minute. Oh, I'm 41. It's like
Yeah. Right.
yeah. It's like the last 8 years of my life flew by, watching and worrying about and loving him.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing about it is I feel like I've gotten a lot accomplished. I've done a lot. I was out there hoeing for a good amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So I've done
I'm not
a
buying it.
lot of what I wanted to. What'd you say?
I'm not buying it. You don't seem like the type.
Hey man, I'm a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? I was out there getting it. I was doing my thing. But now it's like I'm older and I don't feel like I've missed out. Like, oh man, I want to go to this thing, or I could be home and be okay with it. I'm cool with just like chilling out, and I don't have
That's
this
good.
like fear of missing out. You know what I
That's
mean?
good. You know what? What's funny? There's this dude. I can't remember his last name. But this guy Mark I used to work with back in Colorado. older dude at the time. He might have been in his early to mid 40s, and I was, barely 30,
Mhm.
and his kids were grown. But he was just like, man, he's like, I look at my neighbors sometimes, Chris, and he goes, because he goes, I wasn't the best dad. He's like, we had kids when we were young, and he was like, I wanted to go out and drink and party. He's like, but I look at my neighbor, man. He's like, he's in his late 40s, early 50s. He's got a son. He's just like, that guy is like content with being out in the yard with his son,
Right.
and just playing catch or riding bikes. But he was just like, I just had these little kids and I'm in my early 20s. So he was like, I was still trying to go out and drink and party. And he was just like, I kind of envy that guy. He's like, that guy did it right. He's like, because even though his kids were doing fine, he was like, I could have been a better father. He's like, that's
Yeah.
because I was too busy, trying to hang out with my friends.
But I mean, so a lot of times when you're having a kid that young, you're growing up with them. When you're 20, you're super young still.
Yeah.
Your brain. I mean, not that your brain's still forming, but you're still figuring out who you are.
It's a lot, dude. The thing is, I've seen it for 2 decades, man. I've seen the cycle, and I'm sure you have too. Growing up in a military household, and you might not have noticed as much because you were younger. But that cycle of a young guy gets there, he either marries his high school sweetheart, or he marries the first girl that he meets off base.
Right.
They're 18, 19, and then they get married, and boom, a year and a half later, they got a kid.
Right.
And they're living off base. And that guy, all of his friends who he works with, they all come over to the house. They all hang out. They're playing Xbox. You know what I mean? Their house is a hangout.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly but surely, everybody else kind of grows up. People get married. They PCS. And here you have this young guy who is now 23 years old. They have a 3 to 4 year old. And him and his wife don't know each other anymore. Because all their friends have moved away. Other people are married. And now it's just them and their family. And they go, I don't want to, I don't want to be with them. But it starts to go downhill when one person turns 21 and now they want to go out to the club. It's just like, no, you got a 2-year-old at home. It's like, no, you want to go out to the club. You want to go out and hang out. Same thing with the women. They like, my friends are young. They're going out. I want to go out too. And then you got this kid kind of trapped in the middle,
right?
And again, it ends up falling apart. And here you got this 24-year-old girl. She's a single mom. Then you got this 23-year-old, 24-year-old young airman or sergeant already paying child support, and they're barely 5 years into their military career. Now they got to pay child support.
Hey, you just explained my whole childhood. Like,
you see it.
I feel like you had a window into our childhood.
That's how it happens, man. It's just
I'm the kid that you're talking about.
Really? Yeah, dude, you see it, man. They got a house full of friends. Everybody's over there drinking, partying. And then it gets so messy. One of your friends end up falling in love with your wife because they think treating her right.
Now you're going a little far. Let's relax. It wasn't
I'm just saying, dude.
That.
I've seen it, man.
Nah, but you're right, man. And I mean the cool thing though, my mom actually wrote a book. My mom wrote a book called Babies Raising Babies, which is basically like about her being young, raising us, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Which is kind of cool to look back on, and then you have your childhood kind of documented. But it's talking about some of those things about, being on the base or whatever, and how life was going, pops out, doing whatever. But it's just interesting when you break it down like that. Like, it wasn't an abnormal thing. Like, the life that I had as like a kid in that situation is mad normal on like a military.
Yeah, that's almost par for the course, man. You just see so many young people playing house, man. And then when all their friends moved away and they realized like, oh, we didn't spend any time together as a family. It's just like, I'm 24. I'm different now. It's just like, she's a different person. And dude, God, not even mentioning like we bringing in deployments into this where, you got this 19-year-old young lady with a baby in a state where she doesn't know anybody. And then her husband has to go to Iraq for, 8 months, 6 months, to go to Korea for a year, and they've never, and you're talking
local vultures where it's like, yeah, I'll help you out with that baby. And
that, and not even, and then you got people who like if you're not familiar with the military, man, that's a lot to try to figure out. Like, how do I get health care? Who do I talk to about this? Or if you just live out off base, a lot of people, they've never even paid bills. So you might be married to a young lady who's never paid bills. They've
Mhm.
never gotten their
Yeah.
oil changed before. They don't,
Yeah.
like you said, they're kids and
Yeah.
they're playing house.
You know, but I'd like the fact, not I like the fact, I'm super thankful for the fact that my mom had like a plan. And in that situation, she knew what she wanted to do, because it could have been totally different if, you know what I mean, you have two young people or whatever. And then you have one who's like kind of half in on having a kid. And then once they do it, the allure's kind of gone. And then they're kind of like, you know, it's not like buying a Cabbage Patch doll. It's not like buying a
Yeah,
Barbie. You
man.
know what I mean? Some people
That's
think it
yeah.
is. It's like, oh, I got a nice little accessory. And it's like, oh, now I'm bored with this accessory. I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Dude,
You know?
people do that with kids, and like I see it a lot, like with like on like black social media with all these like black love memes where it's like some super swole dude, and some chick with a tiny waist, and it's like they smoking weed together and playing video games. They got matching outfits on. It's just like, yo, that's a relationship is more than y'all both being hot and wearing matching outfits and going down to Miami eating
Yeah.
fucking crab legs and shit and having shirts that fit,
You know,
where you wearing one half of the statement on the shirt and she got the other half. It's like, it's more than that, man. Having a kid, like, it's cool having a cute kid. You can let them wear cute clothes, but yo, that shit takes a lot of fucking work, man.
you know,
And
you know what I
people
just
think
thought? Oh, so go ahead. My
I
bad.
just I just think that people think, one, being married and being in a serious relationship is just like just this fun thing, and it's about outfits all the time, and hanging out and going doing tandem push-ups on a YouTube page together and shit. And
Right.
it's just like, it's not.
It's a lot more, but it just made me
I
think.
hate it, man. It makes me
I,
mad.
but I just thought of a skit based on that, because we were talking a little bit about skits. I just thought of a skit like, I just want real relationship goals. Like, hey, can you do the dishes? And they'd be like, yeah, I don't mind. And then that's it. That's the skit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
communication, something super basic. Like, that's a real relationship goal. Like the one person does the dishes and the other person don't care and is cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah, man. Yeah, and here's the thing too, Glenn. And I know you probably got to wrap up soon,
I
but
mean,
here's the
only if
thing.
you do. I'll talk forever. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna do that, but I would, but I can't. Here's the thing. So right now it's just you and her, right?
yeah.
Obviously that dynamic is going to change.
Mm.
So when the baby comes, it's gonna be, you're still gonna need you and her time. Then you're gonna need time together, all three of you guys. But then she's gonna need time with him, and then you're gonna need time with him,
Mhm.
and you also need time for yourself. So
Right.
like, dude, just always keep that in mind, man. To like do things as a group. You guys still do things together. You and him do things together. You and her do things together. You know, but and also take care of yourself too, man. It's a lot, and especially after the baby is born, man, just really try to be there for her, you know?
Yeah.
Give her those breaks. That's
That's
all I can
that's
really say.
one thing that's really consistent, is that people are saying like, take time for yourself. And this is another thing that I wasn't thinking about it in terms of how you just broke it down. Like, you really got to section out. There's really like four groupings of time that you need to account for. Like, yourself, you with all the family, you with just the child, and then all of y'all together. You know what I mean? Like, it's multiple. You gotta, this is why scheduling, putting shit on the calendar. Oh, see, look, I was
Yeah.
trying to be disciplined. I was good up until the end. Uh and then I let it slip. But this is why
Yeah.
scheduling is going to be so important, to make sure that all those times are kind of accounted for, and that we're really mindful about that, so that no one's feeling like they're short shrifted. Like, I don't want to feel like, oh, I didn't get my time. And I know my time is probably going to be like out doing comedy or whatever. Like, that's just going to be the thing that I get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then and then the rest of it.
But that might be a while. Like that changed for us too, man. Like that made me become a lot more selective,
Mhm.
you know, especially when he was younger. He's not, he's 8. He's pretty self-sufficient, but kids are still a lot. So, but when he was smaller, when you have to watch them constantly, just all the time, because because toddlers, they're trying to kill themselves all the time. It's
Mhm.
just climbing on shit, pulling stuff down, sticking stuff, and and it's a lot of work, man. It's mentally taxing. But so I had to limit my time out of the house and not making money. So that's when I had to start being more selective. Like, okay, I can't just go out and just do mics and hang out. Like, if I'm gonna go out to do a mic, I need to probably schedule those. Like, hey, every second week of the month, I'm gonna go. Every first week I'm gonna go Monday and Wednesday, and the second week I'm gonna go Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like, you need to, or if it's like, hey, I'm not doing that this week. I got a paid gig, so I'm only gonna go out this day. So like once the kid gets here and you see how much work it is, you really have to be decisive about the gigs that you do, and that way the other person doesn't feel like you're skating out and leaving them with a lot of the child,
Duties.
raising duties, because it's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too. It's just like as soon as you get a pattern down, it changes. As soon as you get into a groove, you go, I got this. Boom, the diapers, the feedings. I know how to weigh out. I know how to measure out all the bottles and stuff. Things change. As soon as you get the routine down, dude, it's all changing, man. It's a moving target.
Well, I mean, that's good. I feel like that's good for someone with ADHD. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like we are, because it's like, okay, I'm. That's the thing. I'm good with like adapting to change. All right, let me like playing video games. I was always like, let me figure out this pattern. You know what I mean? Like, how does it work? How do I And I feel like it's just going to be like that in life. It's just a pattern. And trying to figure out how that pattern goes now.
I think you will enjoy it because you get these systems. Like with the breast milk, I was just like, okay, I got the bottles lined up like this. I already made the labels for it. I put the rings on. It's just like I had everything planned. I had it all planned out. I had my routines. I had my rituals, and those are actually good memories, man. But making bottles for my little boy, man. And making sure you have everything. Yeah, man. Being afraid that you forgot them in the car. Like, dude, I would do that shit. Like, I would be at work and I would just like, did I leave him? I would run out to I would have to leave the skiff. I would go, I'm sorry. I know I took my kid to the daycare. I was like, but I am terrified that I left him in the back seat. And they'll go check. And I would run out there. Okay, he's not in the car. I knew he wasn't. But sometimes your brain just fucks with you.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm forgetful. So I'm like you were younger too. You know what I mean? Like now I'm older and I'm about to do this, and I know I'm already forgetful. So when you're old, you already start forgetting stuff, and I'm like, that's my biggest worry. Like I was working on this new bit, which is like like I'm having a kid, and my biggest fear is like having the kid, like physically having him in my possession scares the crap out of me. You know what I mean? Like what am I gonna? Like I don't want to drop him or whatever. The thing about the car, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta watch this dude like walk, because now I'm kind of like a risk taker when going across the street. I'm like, oh, whatever, traffic's coming. Like I can see that car, I can gauge that car is far away. I'll make it. Right. I can't do that anymore because he's going to be watching that, and his perception might not be as good as my perception. You know what I mean? So he, might just, I don't care, and he walks out, and he doesn't realize he got to hurry up, and it's like all these things got to change, and I got to be
teaching him everything. Like, see, I'm glad you brought that up because that's something with Miles, like, because he gets that hyper focus, like. When it's time for him to, like, when he sees the other kids outside, he grabs his skateboard. He is just like, it's time to play. And we live on the dead end street, so I'm not as worried, but I will let him get in front of me just a little bit, because there's been a few times where he's about to run out in the street and I have to go, hey, what are you doing? He goes, oh yeah, you're right. And I know a lot of kids are like that, but for kids with ADHD, that hyper focus on playing will let them run out into the street.
Yeah. And nowadays people drive crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, it's little thing. Yeah, it's the little things like that where a kid like him, man, I have to be. It takes him a little bit long. What did they say? A little bit longer.
They said you won't forget anything because your child will remind you 1,000 times.
But dude, thinking that you forgot your kid in the backseat is the scariest thing. There's so many techniques and methods and all kind of and things that people, like, you can hang stuff in the mirror. Like some people take their shoe off and put it in the backseat. So when they get out,
yeah, that I didn't even think about that. Like, take your shoe off, like to make sure that you don't forget your kid.
Take the shoe off and put it in the back seat. Like sometimes, like just throw your phone in the back seat.
Yeah.
because when they're really little, when they don't talk and stuff like that, infant, it is very, dude. That's why I don't like seeing those stories of people leaving their babies in the car. It's horrific, but dude, it is a very, very easy thing to do.
Mm, mm.
It's very, because you got to think, dude, you live 40 years. As much as you love this child, you wait and anticipate it and you love them, you went 40 years without having a kid. And we get like going to work and all that kind of stuff. You get caught up in your routine and you'll forget, especially like if you and your wife or whoever are like, oh, you got them today, I got them today. You can get it caught up in your routine and you can forget that you
Yeah.
have your child with you, especially an infant, man.
My routine was also like if I'm going somewhere, I'll get there right on time. You know what I mean? With like a little bit of time to spare, make it look cool, make a cool entrance. I got there right on the dot.
Mhm.
And I feel like with that, like having a kid in that thing and trying to do that, that's when you forget things because you're trying to do your hurry up and like, oh, I won't make it just in the nick of time or whatever. And it's like, it's just life is going to change and I'm aware of it. And I feel like having these conversations also helps me be more aware of it. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah. Dude, it's like when you guys first start going out, because you buy all the stuff, you take the stroller, the baby bags, the little changing little mat thing, and then after a while, you be like, man, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put some wipes in my pocket in a plastic bag, put them in my pocket. I'm gonna put a diaper in my back pocket. I'm good.
But that's how I want to be. Like from
You'll
the
get
jump.
there, man.
I just want to be there from the jump. Like, because I don't think like the way that I travel, because I would travel a lot. I'm like, I don't need to take a bunch of stuff with. Like they have it wherever I go. I don't need to take a bunch of stuff. So I'm already kind of a minimalist like that.
But
so
when
I'm thinking I'm gonna be minimalist with the kid. But
yeah, well, when they're really little, it's hard to do, man, because dude, I can't even tell you how many times like my wife would get them ready in the morning. Well, this is when we were living in Ohio. She would get them dressed because that was their time to spend together, getting them dressed and stuff in the morning. And I would put them in the car seat while I got ready. I would, and I would go, all right, buddy, it's time to go. And I would pick him up to give him a kiss or something like that. Dude, he would blow that diaper out and like a baby. I'm talking to like shitting through the seal where like you have to give him a bath. So, dude, it's you're gonna have some interesting mornings where like I gotta be to work on time, and then boom, your baby just, dude, they'll have shit all up their back.
Oh,
that little onesie that they have on, yep. Because you think like, man, like you dress a baby, you put the diaper on, you put a onesie on, then you put their clothes on. You go, man, why do people put these onesies on? Because sometimes the whatever liquid or whatever comes out of their body, it won't soak through the onesie. Therefore, you can just change the onesie and put them back in the same clothes. But dude, it's been so bad where I'm like, I have to like rinse these clothes out in the sink or put them in the tub. It's so much boo-boo all over them. Put them back in the tub. This is all before I even left for work in the morning.
Wow.
Lotion them up, get them dressed again. Now that night, I got to come home, find another outfit to lay out for the week. Because we used to try to have everything laid out. Like, here's 5 outfits for the morning in the mornings. But dude, there's many
5.
I mean, for the week, like every morning, here's an outfit.
Okay.
But what I was gonna say, it's cool. Nah, man, I ain't doing that shit. Some people do that. Like some people will let their kids shit and then take them to daycare. I don't do that, man. Even if like I change, because there's times where he will blow that diaper out. I would bathe him and everything. Get there, get to the daycare. He blew it out. He blew it out again, and I would stay and change it.
Wow.
Dude,
wait, what were you about to say about the Pampers? You were about to say there was
because some people like it'll like a baby can sit in its own filth for a little bit, but whenever they're dirty, dude, I change them, man. But some people will let the kids because some of them do have like 12-hour protection. Some people like, fuck it, let them sit in it for 10 hours. I ain't like that, man.
Yeah, I don't.
And then, dude, there's so much. Then you got to pick a daycare. That shit is so expensive.
Well, here's the good thing. The way that our life is set up right now, Stephanie's able to be home or whatever. So
that's good.
As opposed to her, going out, we run what we do here with Level Up and everything, which is great because you can do it from home or whatever. And it's like a nice little side thing. So she still feels very accomplished and she's doing things, but it allows her to be home You know what I
Right.
mean? It allows her to take care of that. So I feel like that's a savings unto itself to have somebody who's like doing that 25, 24, 25, 7, 24/7,
Yeah, I will say is because I fought this with my wife because I wanted to save money because she was staying home at one point. She couldn't find a job, and I was just like, man, you're not working. We can save money. But I would say when they're around 2.5, 3, if you can afford to send them to like a daycare part-time or a couple times a week, it
Mm-hmm.
is very crucial to their development to be around other kids and just
Ah,
learn how to share and how to talk to people and how to interact and all that kind of stuff. Um, we didn't do that. I was thinking the money route when my son could have definitely benefited from interacting with other children at an earlier age.
hmm.
He's a tad behind, but a lot of kids with ADHD are a little bit more immature. But and
Yeah.
that's not in a not, and I don't mean that in the bad way, just a little bit more delayed socially.
No, I get it. I was my mom told me I was the same way. The teachers wanted to hold me back or whatever because they're like so like I was doing things like I would like pee with the bathroom door open or whatever, which I still do to this day, and I don't
Yeah,
see a
see, he would
problem
do
with it. I'm
stuff
like,
like that,
yeah, it's like
and
I don't like what is the problem like because when you grow up and you're a man, like the stalls don't have doors or shit on. You just pee right there. So it's
yeah,
like
but
what
you
isn't
can't
that
do that shit at school
all
like you
right?
were doing.
Yes. Well, I was just advanced. I was looking where I'm going to be as an adult. This
That's
shit ain't
funny.
going to matter. Why I got to worry about it right now? Y'all
Yeah,
got me
dude.
worrying about some stuff that I ain't got to worry about in 10 years. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
it's an exciting time, man, because you got all the baby clothes, and then like you guys gonna go shopping, and and your wife is like, oh, this is so cute, and then it'll be like something for a kid that's 18 months, and you'll go, damn, that's a big. I can't wait till he's that big. Dude, it seems like it's gonna take forever. Like
Mm,
I remember, like I'm like, man, I can't wait till he can sit up. I can't wait till he starts crawling. Then you're like, I can't wait till he can walk, and then, dude, I'm telling you, man, just enjoy each phase
yeah.
because like it's a lot of work having an infant, but the moment they start to move around, that's when it's over.
It starts taking off.
That's when it's completely over. Because
Uh,
like, and you like when they're super little, you can still watch what you want to watch. You can put them in the like the little car seat or the swing, or playpen. They'll lay there. They don't understand what's going on. But dude, once they hit like 2, 3, you gotta stop watching a lot of gory stuff. You gotta keep just you got to keep an eye on them all the time, man.
you know what?
Doors closed.
I think I have a plan. One of my friends who I was talking to, Bover, who's going to be on the show in another couple weeks. He was just saying to do not age appropriate, but based on my development when I was introduced to things is like when
Right.
I would introduce him to things. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I wasn't watching these X-Men movies when I was 2. You know what I'm saying? So like wait so that they can almost have like a buildup of development similar to the way that you did, and maybe that'll help kind of slow things down. Because now, like kids don't have to go through Nintendo, Atari, Genesis, Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have that. They could just jump right into the shooting and killing at like 3. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's
Yeah.
way too hyper advanced. You know?
Yeah, my son, he's really into the more classic games right now. Like he loves Mario Brothers. Um, and that I would say that's been something I really enjoyed, man. It's like he's really into like the classic Nintendo games. So like to be able to walk around my house, or I'll wake up in the morning and go downstairs and I hear all these familiar video game sounds that I grew up with. It's a cool thing.
Do,
Him and I,
do, do,
yep.
do, 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 do. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like he'll see somebody playing. He goes, "Oh, I know that. That's 1-1 from Mario Brothers." Or like, "Oh, that's 4-3 from this one." Or that's this is oh, that's the song from the underwater levels in Mario 3. Like he knows all that stuff. He knows all that shit, man.
It'll
He's really into it.
take you back to when you
It
were trying to
does.
beat the game. Yeah.
And it also like you get to go back and you go, oh, I remember these secrets. Like I showed him all these secrets on Super Mario World, and he was like, "Dang, Dad, you know how to do all this stuff." I go, "Yeah, man, I used to play these games all the time, man. But we had it." I'm like bragging, like, "Yeah, but we had the internet, man. Me and my cousin used to talk on the phone, and he had to talk me through. I ain't have no tutorials on YouTube. We had to find we had to find the secrets on our own." That's the uphill both ways through the snow for me is saying that we didn't have all these YouTube tutorials on how to find all the secrets in Mario.
Yeah. Yo, are you still active? Like, can you run around? Can you jump and stuff? Or are you
I was
feeling it?
never a leaper. Let's be honest, man. I never
Okay.
had ups. But he's so much of an indoor kid. But like we ride bikes. He likes to play baseball. It's just again with the ADHD, he gets hyper focused and like anything that's not in his wheelhouse at the time, it's just a waste of time.
Right.
You know, but because he goes through like he wanted this Nintendo Switch so bad, I got him the Switch, right? And he played it every day for months, and then he got into this game called Geometry Dash on the iPad, and dude, for like 6 months, he didn't even think about the Switch, not
I
at
get
all.
that. Yeah.
And then for months he'll play Mario Maker, and then like he won't play Geometry Dash anymore. It's just back and forth. So, but he gets into so many different things, man. And I always try to nurture like whatever he like for a moment he was really into maps and stuff. Dude, when he was like 4 years old, he hand drew the globe and it's almost perfect. It's insane.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Dude, I'm talking every country, the shapes are right. Dude, his Alaska is fucking perfect. Even the I'm talking like little islands, Hawaii, Fiji. I mean, this is from memory. And that's when I was like, he might be autistic because he was just really
Nobody
into
knows that
numbers.
much. Yeah.
He was really into numbers. He was into letters. I was just like, what is this obsession with numbers? What is this obsession with letters? I mean, watching the same stuff over, I was terrified that I was like, something's wrong, but he's fine, man.
Yeah. You know
He's
what?
fine.
With that type of focus and whatnot, get him in the blockchain, bro. Get him into
Dude,
where things are going.
Well, he did like now. That's why he loves the code. He has Spark Academy. He wants to code stuff, and he's really into games where you can build your own levels. Like he loves to play Mario, but he plays Mario Maker, and he spends more time making his own levels than he really does actually playing them.
That's where it is, building something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Creating something. That's a lot of times where value comes from. You know what I mean? And
yeah, and he just got hip to this. I think it's called Scratch. He found some MIT coding program, the website thing. He's been on that all day today.
Oh wow! See, that's where they end up finding them. Be like, you want to come
hey,
out?
please. He loves math, and like there was a time where he would go, Dad, can we put on some algebra videos? And I would just get on YouTube and put on some Khan Academy algebra videos. Yeah, he do into languages. Like I would say for about 5 or 6 months, he was absolutely obsessed with Japanese.
Really? Does he speak it now?
Japanese. He knows some stuff. He can write all of it. He was into the translator. He got into Cyrillic. It's just he's really into like fonts and stuff too. He loves letters and fonts and stuff like that. He's really printing things. Yeah, he likes all that kind of stuff, man.
I feel like as you know, like as a parent, sometimes, not saying this is you, but sometimes parents aren't as equipped to handle a kid that has that much talent. You know what I'm saying? Like that talent needs to be like harnessed or whatever. I feel like it's good because you're able to recognize it and get them access to this type of stuff. But I just think about all the kids who are like him, but then people say, oh, he's got, attitude issues or da-da-da-da-da because
it's socioeconomic.
He just needs so much stimulus. You know what I mean? Because his brain activity is like off the charts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Because you're absolutely right. Because he has so many fidget spinners. He's got like these bands and stuff that we put on his desk that he can kick. He's got this weird, not weird, but he has like this. It's like a weird. I keep saying it's like this seat cushion for kids with ADHD. It's kind of squishy. They can move around in it. They got bands you can put on the chair that they can kick. He has to have like a something for the school that will give him extra time to take his test, stuff like that. He has to have he's not in special classes or anything like that, but he does get accommodations because he has ADHD. And this stuff like that, I probably wouldn't have looked into because I would be too afraid of how long it was going to take, how much paperwork it was going to be.
Like, I gotta be. It's gonna be time. I gotta drive here.
Exactly. I'm gonna get the runaround. They're gonna tell me like this isn't the right office. And dealing with that in the military, it really just jaded me towards that kind of stuff. But my wife is she's like I said before, she stays on top of that stuff. And without her, dude, I there's no telling where I would be, where he would be,
Well,
So yeah.
man, y'all are
But
in a good place right now. Listen, we've talked
okay.
for a good hour and a half almost,
Yeah, man.
which I mean I would keep talking to you because I feel like there's so much, and
I feel like I'm all over the place. So.
Yeah, but I mean I fil like that's what this is. It's kind of just a place for dads just to talk, listen to stories from each other, tell stories about our past. We didn't even get to our high school football careers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just like just kind
going to school. Yeah, dude. Like this first day of daycare is big. You can't wait for them to go to school. They go to school. Yeah, dude.
We didn't
cool,
even
man.
talk about the whole birthing thing. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about it a little bit.
Well, I'm talking about just like I don't know, like just the whole. Well, I guess we did talk about. I don't know, man. There's just a lot, and then you know what it is. I'm anxious for everything, so I want to know everything. So I'm like, yo, tell me the whole. So
so her water broke. We went to the hospital. My mom came in a couple days before, so we all went. My mom was super excited when we get the room, and she's in labor, and it's just 20 hours of nurses coming in checking her and stuff. And he just wouldn't move over. So then they take her to the OR to do the C-section, and they were like, hey, you want to come over here and cut the cord? I'm like, I don't think I want to see my wife's guts. I can't handle that. I'm too squeamish, man. So I was like, I think I'm good. I'm gonna stay over here.
That's
some people pass out. So I didn't want to risk that at all.
I am hoping that I will be strong enough to do it. I mean, I've watched a lot of horror movies. I've seen a lot of like weird things. I don't know that I've ever seen like actual guts, but I have seen like, I've seen weird shit. I've seen animals dead. I've seen animals die in front of me. I've seen, you know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, but that's not a human being's insides. Yeah. Not a lot of us have seen that. So I'm good. I was good on that. She had to heal up from that. My mom was a huge help. And this as a parent, because you just know nothing, man, and just making sure that you're feeding them enough. They sleep so much for the first few months, but they also eat a lot. They sleep a lot, but it's still it's a lot of work. Just make sure she sleeps when he sleeps. Get in there where you can help. A good gift is for a post birth is like some slippers and stuff, a robe, bath bombs, stuff like that. Have you already got a push gift? I guess push gifts are things that women get these days. Have you ever heard of a push gift?
No, what's a push gift?
It's a gift you give your lady for having the baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad that you spoke about that.
So get a push gift.
Push gift.
The slippers and all that kind of. That's not a push gift. You need to get like jewelry or something like that.
Oh, like something
a necklace,
nice.
Yeah. Maybe a bracelet.
I'm gonna get her a new vacuum cleaner because the vacuum. You know what I mean? Like she needs.
Jesus. That's gonna be you,
right? She's gonna just hand it right back to me. So try again.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited for you, man. It's an exciting time. Yeah, man. It's just you. You just gotta. The thing is, it's so fun. It's so exciting. It's scary, but you're gonna get through it. And like I said, once you feel like you got the rhythm down, you and her are tossing diapers back and forth. It's almost like a movie. It's gonna change. Something's gonna change. And then you gotta learn that routine again, and then you get that down, and then it's something else.
Well, I cannot wait. Wait for it to happen. All right. First of all, so wait, what were you about to say?
You got your car seats in already?
Yeah, we got our car seats.
See, like learning how to do. It took me like 2 hours to get that thing in there the first time.
Yeah, it took us a good 30-45 minutes.
I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know if it was, but it was very frustrating. I didn't know what I was doing.
Was it in there correctly though? Did you like after it was?
Like, see, that's the thing too. Then you get it in there, and then you realize like, oh shit, that's not right. But then I ratcheted it down too tight. Then you got to get some pliers out to hold the button down to try to. Yeah, dude.
They make it real. The joint that I got now, they make it real easy. It just snaps in, and then you tighten it. And I'm like, this is great. This is easy. This is, and then I jostled it a little bit. It wasn't moving, so I was like, all right, this is. And then I looked at a YouTube video.
Yeah, you got to do that. Make sure
we're going to take it to a firehouse so they could check it out, apparently. But then they asked for the instructions. I'm like, y'all going to just do the same shit that we did? Y'all just going to read instructions like we did? Like, yeah.
They're just giving firefighters shit to do. It's like, I don't. Yeah, go. These firefighters will put the baby in there.
It's like, y'all ain't busy enough. There ain't enough fires going on around here.
That would be a funny sketch. You have a whole fire truck coming to your house, be like, oh, I just want you to put this seat in. Can you check this seat right quick?
Yeah. Yo, we do need to get together and do some things, because I love talking to you.
Do some Black Dad sketches.
Yeah, I 100%.
Black Dad sketch show. Like the Black Lady sketch show? Black Dad sketch show.
I love that show, and I would love to be a part of something like that.
Black Dad sketch show.
Let's do it.
Let's
do it. Let's go and let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
We both need haircuts first, because you look like a Nigerian refugee right now, my man.
No, listen, the problem is my brother, he's a prince. He has a lot of money that he wants to give me, but he can't get out of prison. I need your help, Chris.
I just need $30 right now.
Just need $30 right now, and then I'll send you the 1,000. Yeah, bro, man. Nah, we need to get together. So tell the people where they can find you. I know that you just did your special, which is a big accomplishment.
It's an album, not really a special. At Chris Allen Comedy, all things social media. Subscribe to my YouTube. Comedy. Yeah, Chris Allen Comedy, ALAN. Yeah, I just found out today the actual official release date will be August 6th. I thought it was going to be mid to late June, but they had a bunch of stuff happen and everything got pushed back. Yeah, at Chris Allen Comedy. Yeah, please subscribe to my YouTube page. I'm almost to 1,000. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be dope.
1,000? We only had 100. Listen, go subscribe to us and then subscribe to Chris.
Yes, at Chris Allen Comedy. Yeah, dude. Right. I need to step my game up. I need to be more pointed in what I'm doing. I'm kind of floating out here, and I got to be more direct. I need to.
You know what I figured out just by doing a lot of things. It's there's a lot of what's it called? Like working together. You know what I mean? Like cross promoting. Yeah, collaboration, cross promoting. That's because all the people that you know, and they've seen everything that you do, and it's like, okay, cool.
Right.
But then when they see something new or whatever and introduced to something new, like some people who know me and then now see you will be like, oh, who's that dude? He was pretty funny. And then
yeah, man,
you know what I mean? It's all about networking and all that.
Right. That's what the West Coast comics figured out about podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like while like getting on certain stages and stuff it's tough, but well, let me back up a little bit. The guys that are already up there, they're smart because like Bert goes on Theo's podcast. Theo goes on Tom Segura. Tom Segura goes on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has all those guys on, they Bobby Lee goes on their, somebody's podcast. They're always doing each other's podcasts. And like you said, that cross-pollination, like that's why those guys out west make so much money doing podcasts, man, because they all help each other out. And I'm not saying the East Coast guys don't do that, but it's not as prevalent. Because like now, like when guys on the East Coast have a special coming out, instead of like doing, radio, they do a West Coast tour and they go on Theo's podcast. They go on Bobby Lee's podcast. They go and do Dr. Drew's podcast. If they can, they get on Rogan. Like that's how you get your name out there now. It's not doing late night. It's not it's not Comedy Central. Right. It's not the industry stuff. It's going out west and getting on all these podcasts.
Yeah, I want to do like Comedy Store East. You know what I'm saying? Like have that type of energy where there's just like everyone gets together and there's all this camaraderie. But for some reason, it's just not that same type of energy. Maybe it's the weather. You know what I'm saying?
It's because it's also too, man. Like in LA, you have people who've made it. And people go there to make it. Everybody in DC and in Nova, they're trying to make it and go to LA and go to New York. But I also think and I've talked to Sean Joyce about this. Like, I think guys like that, like Sean, also Jack Coleman, like the guys who have these promotional, even you, dude, like you have Level Up Comedy. Maybe you should start a podcast network. Go, hey man, it's a couple of people on here. You got a podcast. Like Sean Joyce should have because Big Hunter was so big, he should have a podcast. Sean Joyce should be doing his podcast all the time. And then say Martin and Meany has a podcast. And I know Martin does his own thing, but I'm just using him as an example. He can do a podcast under Sean Joyce's umbrella. Or you can get Fernando could do a podcast under your umbrella.
Fernando Madrigal?
Yeah, I'm just
Fernando
saying.
Madrigal?
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying, right?
Nah,
Somebody could be a hub. The Improv, if I think they do a podcast, but if they were like, hey, Haywood, you want to do a podcast underneath the DC Improv umbrella? Something like that. Yeah. I think that's what, but that is a lot of work though,
Yeah. But here's the thing. We're equipped to do it. I would love to do some stuff like that. It's just I don't know if people they see me, they're like, oh, he's just doing that little thing. But when I go to other places, they'll be like, oh shit, Glenn, this. But you have you ever heard that saying, you could never be an expert in your own city?
Oh yeah, you got to leave, man.
Yeah, it's like if I go other places, it'll be like cool, but here it's just like that's just a guy I see every day.
Yeah, because they've seen you start from nothing.
Yeah.
It was like that when I went. Even though I didn't like start comedy in Rochester, like I would come home and like try to do some bar shows, hop on some stuff, and nobody took it seriously. But the moment I did I did a show with Schumer at an arena. It was people took me seriously as a comic.
Right.
Well, after doing that one show with her, people were like, "Oh, he's legit."
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that moment where I can be like, "Hey, I really do this. I take a lot of time. I write jokes. You know what I'm saying? I figure out how to perform them. This is a real thing that I'm doing. Like I'm really.
Yeah, it takes a while, man, for people to actually respect it as like, "Hey, this is what I am. I'm finally a headliner back home now." So
I've seen it. I've seen the flyers and everything. I see you got the cool little pop in your collar jean jacket. You know what I'm saying? The little headshot.
Does it look cool?
Yeah,
I'm trying to look young.
It looks cool as shit, man. You look good. I should. You know what? I should make fun of you because you would make fun of me, but I'm not. I'm into giving big ups.
No, make fun of me. I like when people make fun of me.
You too tall though. You're too tall and big for people to make fun of. You know what I'm saying? Like it's imposing.
I can't fight, man.
You know why though? Because big dudes, it's all fun and games until you say the wrong thing and then they hit.
But I was never a big guy. I was small.
But you're like you're what, 6'3" or something?
6'2", 250-ish.
Yeah, see, that's way too big.
But I used to be like
a
$140.
So you have the small guy mentality.
Yeah, I'm still dude. I'm telling you, man. Like even when I go back home, I'm that snaggletooth, skinny 16-year-old who can't get a girlfriend.
Nah,
that's how
Look, I'm looking at you right now. You look like a nigga who could fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
it's just the headband. And
it's just the headband and the hair. It's like, oh, that he could scrap. You got a little scar. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere on your face.
Oh, you can see that. I want to scrap, man. Somebody went into our cars last night in our fucking driveway, man. I'm pissed.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! Yeah. I didn't even know you was going through it like that. That's crazy.
Well, because see, we live way out in the country, and it's super dark, and it was my fault for not keeping my side light on. Mm-hmm. But I figure like, because we live about 150 feet off the road, and I'm thinking like, man, nobody's that, and behind us is nothing but forest.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's a country road. I'm like, ain't nobody coming down here. But apparently there's people coming from the next neighborhood, man, because they got my neighbor too.
Yeah,
but I didn't have anything in there. I don't.
That's where this crazy thing with the economy. This is where it's all, people get down on their luck, and then next thing you know, they start, venturing out.
If I catch somebody out there, they're gonna be sucking on the barrel of an AR-15. Because like they didn't take my shades. My neighbor said they didn't take any of his tools, and did
they take the airbag or some shit?
I think it's just kids, man, because they're looking for cash. Because the other dude down the street said that his wallet was in the car and they didn't take his credit cards or anything. Yeah,
I mean we're going away from cash. That's a limited time only heist right there.
Yeah, but stealing, unless you really a scammer and know what you're doing, stealing credit cards ain't really worth it, man.
Nah, you got to be different. That's why I said you just get in the coding. If you get in the coding, you don't even have to steal. Like you can make money legitimately.
You can just make it up like Bitcoin.
Yeah. Hey, listen, don't get into that's a whole nother hour conversation, man. I'll put you on. You know what I'm saying? You want financial freedom?
Who is that?
Do you want financial freedom? It's not a person. It's like, who is that? I know financial. Financially,
Nah,
she lives over in the next town over.
I know. I said, who is that? Because that's obviously somebody's catchphrase that you need to listen to Tim Wise talk about. I don't know. What's the money guy's name? With the envelopes?
I don't even know. What is that? I don't know. I don't know that. But I know I do need a catchphrase. I need to catch. I got my catchphrase, which is "Got a minute, peep this." Have you seen me do the "Got a minute, peep this"?
All the time.
Okay, all right.
I need a new shirt too, man. I haven't seen it.
Have to do that. All right, listen, man. We're gonna get out of here. Stick around for a second after I wrap the show up. All right, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely, buddy. Yeah, put me in the back room.
The back room.
That's what he told me.
Dave Ramsey, my sister
Dave
came
Ramsey.
through. Dave Ramsey with the envelopes. How you know, Gabby? See,
that's your sister.
As a matter of fact, yeah. Go ahead and drop me some ducats since you know about the guy with the envelopes.
Oh, you're owed. I'm poor, anyways, man. I have no money.
Stop making fun of my comments. All right, get out of here. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
I'll leave.
All right, man. That was our buddy Chris Allen. Thank him so much for coming out. It was a pleasure talking to him as always. Listen, I love what we're doing here. I think it's a lot of great information. I have so much fun doing it. I can't thank him enough for coming out here and chatting with us. Join us next week. This is a long episode, but hey, join us next week. We'll have another episode that's just as good lined up for you. I think we're supposed to be talking to someone very big in the DC comedy scene, but we will see. We'll be coming to you next week, so check that out. I've been your host, Glenn Lawrence. Thank you so much again. Like I always say, or I don't know, I haven't said. Like I said, I don't have a catchphrase. Okay, I'm rambling right now. I don't mean to ramble, but I'm trying to come up with the catchphrase. As a matter of fact, email us, like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, all that good stuff. But email us and let us know, what should my ending catchphrase be? The Blerd Dad needs an ending catchphrase, and he's relying on you out there, the listeners, to help him find it. So help me find my catchphrase. Once again, thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and we are out.